Why are India such poor players against spin? If you look at the 3-0 and the 2-0 whitewashes against New Zealand and against South Africa, India struggled against the likes of Glenn Phillips, Ejaz Patel, Mitchell Santner, Simon Harmer, Keshav Maharaj, Senuran Muthuswamy. How on earth can you struggle so much against a perceived lineup that was once considered one of the best players of spin in the world? Now, Ravichandran Ashwin, who retired last year, has offered an explanation. He went on a rant because basically when you look at it, he mentioned the basic thing. We are probably one of the poorest spin playing nations in the world as a batting unit. How did this happen overnight? There is a reason for this. And if you have to minutely look at it, the degradation didn't happen kind of overnight. It started happening about 8-10 years ago. When, after the 4-0 and 4-0 whitewashes against England and Australia, the BCCI took a rather big decision on the nature of domestic pitches. Now, that is the one reason that Ravichandran Ashwin has pointed out. He mentioned, our first-class cricket is completely controlled by neutral curators in every venue. The reason is to stop really bad wickets from being prepared. Now, remember, if suppose Mumbai or Maharashtra or Gujarat, if they had appointed their local curators, they would have ensured that they prepared the team overtly with respect to the conditions. The pitch would be so bad that yes, opposition can't play to their strengths, the home team would get their strengths. The same with Delhi. If you can't get a result in Arun Jaitley Stadium, you would prepare a green deck at Roshanara and then they would get the win. Now, this is the reason why the degradation has begun. He mentioned, but what that has also done, along with the attempt to help India play fast and seam bowling better, is weaken our spin batting skills. Just have a classic case. In the past and previous lineup after 2012, who struggled the most against spin? Surprisingly, Ajinkya Rahane. Rahane's stats against spin did not make for that much of a great reading. It was good reading, but not great reading. He struggled against spin. Now, the rot is so deep that no player can play spin well with the exception of a Rishabh Pant in this lineup. You saw Sai Sudarshan yesterday. He hung in, but the technique was so flawed that yes, he had to fall very poorly at this point in time. When you talk about playing spin, you don't start sweeping and reverse sweeping. SA and New Zealand have beaten you with attritional test cricket, the kind that has to be played in India. You have to grind the opposition out. Because remember, on a rank turner, it can become a lottery. But New Zealand dispelled that myth in Mumbai and Pune when they hung in and decided that, okay, you attack in the right moment. Will Young showed it to you. Here it was Temba Bavuma in Kolkata, and here the entire batting unit that encapsulated Muthuswamy and Jansen. And remember, at 247 for 6, on a good pitch, you had the chance to apply the skills and bowl the opposition, but you didn't do that. India were trying a lot of things. They tried to play on the back foot, they tried to come down the track. Hardly any came down the track. Sweep, reverse sweep, they all tried. Jadeja tried, Pant tried, but it didn't work out. Attritional cricket, no one was willing to hang in. And that is where he mentions one particular instance of Rishabh Pant playing a horrible shot and getting out. He says, my heartbeat used to go fast in the dressing room when Rishabh Pant batted. He has a superb game and defense, so I always wonder why he would get out to shots like these. He tried to be too aggressive to a short ball and he got out. It was a terrible shot in the first innings. In the second innings, he had hit a 6 of Keshav Maharaj, but then one ball bounced and he got the splice and Aidan Markram took the catch of Simon Harmer. Now, this is one important thing. Pant has a good defense. Technically, when you look at it, he can attack in any kind of situations. But sometimes when attack doesn't come out, because of the nature of wickets that you have dished out, your technique will get shredded. And because of that, what is the solution now? Because 13 years ago, you decided to change the very nature of your first-class cricket pitches. Now, how suddenly will that turnaround happen? And because now you're playing on sporting wickets, how on earth are your batters going to play well against spin? And why are you preparing spinning decks? That is the one thing which every Indian is shouting out loud. Why are you doing this when you know it's your kryptonite? Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.